Hello, and thanks for joining me again for our weekly chat. I'm sure everyone's delighted with the recent news that not only pubs and cafes and clubs will be able to have up to 50 people in them, but certainly places of worship, something that we've been looking forward to hearing now for quite some time. The welcome news coincides very nicely with the Feast of Pentecost coming up on Sunday. Pentecost was the promised gift, the Holy Spirit that Christ had told his disciples about. They didn't understand who he was, but they knew that it would bring with it power from on high. Eventually, as the apostles and early Christians came to realize who the Holy Spirit was, they knew that he was equal with the Son and the Father. And it's the Holy Spirit's coming that in fact revealed the mystery of the Trinity, the most profound of all the Christian mysteries. Just this week I came across a delightful story of one of the children in our school, and he comes from a family where the parents talk about faith at home, talk about ethics, right from wrong, forming his conscience, but not a lot of practicing so much of the faith. But ever since the child has been coming to the school and hearing about Christ and the amazing things that Jesus said and taught, he often speaks and makes reference to Christ in the household, and now has encouraged the parents to actually look at bringing him and his younger sister for Christian baptism. It's just a beautiful, simple example of how the faith of a child can have such a powerful influence upon the parents. Again, this is a simple case of how Pentecost and the coming of the Holy Spirit works in the lives of Christians. The early Christians, filled with the Holy Spirit, went to tell others about the amazing things of Christ, who he was, what he did, the miracles. And they spoke with conviction that Christ knows what he's talking about, that his word sets us free because it's truth. It liberates us from our blindness, our confused way of thinking. It helps us to prioritize what is really important in our lives. So as we come to the Feast of Pentecost, I invite you not only to pray fervently for the coming of the gift of the Holy Spirit in your life, that he may fill you with an abundance of his gifts, a deeper love of God, a stronger faith, but especially a deep desire to want to share your faith with others. We will all find our own way of sharing our faith, but there must be a willingness on the part of each one of us to want to tell others about the joy of Christ. And depending on our conviction of this teaching and the impact that Christ has left in our own lives will determine how much or how little we will take up those opportunities to want to speak about God, to share our faith in a natural, respectful way, but in a way that is clearly intentional. May the Holy Spirit fill you with an abundance of his love, and I look forward to joining you again next week.